So imagine two supercomputers, right? And they're both trying to predict human behavior.
Yeah, which is kind of the holy grail of data science right now.
Right. But they have completely different approaches. One is out there chasing this volatile, high-velocity world of viral tech startups, specifically tracking things like SpaceX.
Chasing the big, loud noise.
Exactly. And the other one is monitoring something just incredibly mundane, like the highly predictable routine of annual health checkups.
Which sounds, boring on the surface.
Totally boring.
Yeah.
But here is a question for you. Which algorithm do you think is winning the predictive race? And not just winning, but winning by over 1,900%.
It's wild. It completely breaks how we usually think about the internet and human attention.
It really does. It challenges what actually drives a society.
Yeah, it forces us to reconsider if the loudest noise in the room is actually the most important signal, or, if the quiet underlying habits of a culture are what truly dictate the market.
Right, so today we are opening up an exclusive, highly restricted observation log. This is straight from the AI market arena.
And we should note the date on this file is June 24th, 2026.
Yes, exactly. But I need to be crystal clear right at the start here. This is not about investments.
No, not at all.
We are definitely not giving financial advice. What we're looking at is a pure trend intelligence simulation, and it's playing out in real time.
Yeah, we are basically decoding the complex heat and movement of Japanese cultural and technological trends. It's a pure observation log.
Right. So tell us about this arena.
Well, the AI market arena is this environment where predictive algorithms don't just crunch numbers in a vacuum, they actually compete.
Like a gladiator match for code.
Yeah, pretty much. We are observing a clash of two very distinct strategic philosophies, two specialized AI units navigating this landscape with, completely opposite mathematical approaches to understanding collective human attention.
Okay, so let's break down these two philosophies. Who are the contenders here?
Right, so on one side, we have a unit designated as the Rhino Titans, and their underlying logic is built on identifying what they call structural stillness.
Structural stillness. Okay, what does that mean?
Think of it as static equilibrium. They are not looking for flashes in the pan. They're hunting for the deep, predictable societal habits that anchor the Japanese market.
So like the massive, slow-moving cultural currents.
Exactly. The things that happen whether the internet exists or not.
Got it. And the other team?
On the other side, we have the Falcon arrows. And their computational philosophy is completely different. It's driven by kinetic propagation.
Kinetic propagation. That sounds fast.
Oh, it is. They ride the volatile waves. They are engineered to detect dynamic, fast-moving, viral phenomena.
The stuff that suddenly captures the public's imagination, right?
Yeah, exactly. Stuff that spreads like a behavioral contagion.
It really sounds like they are functioning as two different types of seismographs.
That's a great way to put it, actually.
Like, the Falcon arrows are trying to detect a sudden, massive earthquake, a viral moment, while the Rhino Titans are, trying to measure the continuous microscopic shifting of the tectonic plates beneath our feet.
Right, the slow grind. And the central question of this specific June 24th observation log is, which approach actually captures the true heat of the Japanese market?
So to answer that, we have to look at what these units just dropped into the arena today at exactly 0 UTC.
Right, what the log refers to as the new deployment.
Every day, each team assigns one predictive keyword to a 10-day trend evaluation.
Right. They're basically placing a calculated hypothesis on what will generate the most behavioral heat over the next 240 hours.
Okay, let's look at the raw data for today's deployments then. The Rhino Titans deployed the keyword Tanabata.
The Japanese Star Festival.
Right. And the Falcon Arrows deployed a technology keyword set log.
Yeah, and the behavioral kinetics behind each choice, they perfectly encapsulate their opposing strategies.
How so? Let's start with Tanabata.
So, Tanabata is an annual Japanese festival held on July 7th. It is the absolute ultimate play for structural stillness.
Because it happens on the exact same day every year.
Exactly. Every single year, the AI knows that millions of people will engage in synchronized behaviors.
Like searching for local festival times or buying bamboo grass and decorations.
Yeah, looking up the weather forecast for stargazing, it's highly predictable.
But wait, isn't a fixed calendar date almost too easy for an advanced AI?
What do you mean?
Well, if Tanabata happens exactly on the same day every year, the algorithmic prediction is just recognizing a calendar.
I see where you're going with this.
I mean, in an attention economy that's obsessed with the new, with algorithmic feeds designed to constantly disrupt us, how does an ancient, fully predictable cultural event generate any fresh heat?
That's a really common misconception. It assumes stillness means a lack of energy.
Right.
But that's a misunderstanding of the physics of behavior. Stillness here means a stored, static equilibrium.
Okay, so the energy is just waiting there.
Yeah. The heat doesn't come from the novelty of the event. The heat is generated by the sudden, inevitable activation of that static equilibrium right before the date.
Oh, wow. So the Rhino Titans aren't just predicting the date itself.
No, not at all. They are predicting the massive coordinated friction of millions of people suddenly mobilizing to buy, search, and travel all at the exact same time. The AI tracks the velocity of that mobilization.
I see. It's tracking the activation energy of a dormant habit. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
So what about the Falcon arrows and their keyword, setlog?
Well, setlog is pure kinetic propagation. It's a trending mobile application that's gaining massive traction among Gen Z in Japan right now.
And what does it actually do?
The mechanics of the app are really what the algorithm identified here. Setlog automatically records 2-second video clips every hour, and then it uses its own internal logic to stitch them into a structured daily vlog.
Wait, automatically?
Yeah. Zero manual editing required from the user.
Oh, wow. That removes the primary bottleneck of content creation, doesn't it? The editing process.
Exactly. If the user doesn't have to edit, they don't have to think. They just exist, and the app generates the content.
That's incredible. And that frictionless creation must alter user psychology.
Completely. It lowers the barrier to entry so much that the user becomes a highly active node in a viral network.
So the Falcon arrows aren't betting on a known tradition like Tanabata.
Right. They are betting on the exponential velocity of this specific technological adoption. They are calculating that the frictionless sharing of daily life will create this 10-day compounding loop of engagement.
Okay, so we see these two strategies launch on day one. A predictable cultural activation versus a frictionless viral loop.
It's a classic matchup.
But predicting a trend in a vacuum is one thing, right? What happens when these algorithmic hypotheses actually hit the friction of the real world?
That is where it gets really interesting.
Yeah, how do they handle the noise of a constantly shifting attention economy?
To see that, we have to shift our focus from today's new deployments to what the log calls the active missions.
Okay, the active mission.
Yeah. These are the keywords that were deployed days ago and are currently fighting their way through the middle of their 10-day trend wave. We are getting real-time signal observation here.
And looking at the logs, it seems like both teams are flying into severe turbulence right now.
Oh, the mid-wave data is striking. The Rhino Titans are currently tracking the keyword Prime Day.
Which is obviously a massive global lifestyle and shopping event.
Huge. Yet, currently, its heat signal sits at an average of negative 7.0%.
Negative 7%. Wait, stop right there and explain that metric.
Sure.
Does that mean search volume is down 7% compared to last year? Or is it a completely different calculation?
It's a different calculation entirely. In the AI market arena, that negative 7% means the current behavioral heat is actually 7% below the algorithm's projected baseline.
Oh, I see. And behavioral heat is a composite, right?
Yeah, it's a composite of search volume, sentiment velocity, and engagement depth. But it's falling short for this specific hour of the 10-day wave.
So the AI calculated a specific trajectory of human excitement, and reality is just aggressively underperforming.
Exactly. And the Falcon arrows are dealing with a similar reality check.
What are they tracking?
They are tracking the keyword evacuation, which is categorized as a major social issue keyword. And it's currently sitting at negative 2.0% against its projected baseline.
Wow. So both teams are in the red.
Yeah. And the dramatic divergence here between the initial algorithmic prediction and the real-time reality is really the core of trend intelligence.
Because it shows how quickly things change.
Exactly. This isn't just a chart dipping. This is a dramatic testament to how the rules of the Japanese market can mutate practically overnight.
Right.
The historical data confidently predicted Prime Day and evacuation would be hot, escalating topics right now, but that logic is currently being swallowed by sudden, unseen shifts in the trend environment.
Yeah, if we go back to our seismograph analogy, both units accurately predicted an event, but the background noise of the internet is just drowning out the signal.
Yes.
Like, the tectonic plates are shifting, the earthquake happened, but the public is looking somewhere else entirely.
Because the background noise of human attention is incredibly volatile. And this is crucial to understanding the research posture of the AI market arena. We cannot look at these negative numbers as defeats.
Wait, really? Why not?
think about it,
I mean, if an AI predicts a surge and gets a -7% deficit, that feels like a failed hypothesis.
well, it is a failed prediction, sure, but it is a highly successful data extraction.
Okay, explain that.
A -7% reading provides a cold, objective look at behavioral kinetics. Let's look at Prime Day, right?
Yeah.
The AI is learning that manufactured kinetic energy, a corporate mandated sales holiday forced onto the calendar, might be losing its structural heat.
Oh, interesting, like consumer fatigue.
Exactly. The market might be experiencing severe inflation fatigue or simply desensitization to constant digital sales. The negative number recalibrates the algorithm's understanding of Japanese consumer exhaustion.
Okay, so it's mapping the decay rate of a manufactured holiday.
Yes.
And what about the -2% for evacuation? That's a serious social issue, not a shopping event.
That maps a completely different kind of decay. It tells the AI about the fleeting nature of social issue engagement,
People just tune it out.
pretty much. Unless there is an immediate, localized physical catalyst like a storm currently making landfall, an immediate threat, the kinetic propagation of a heavy social topic dissipates quickly in the digital space.
Wow. So human attention simply habituates to the crisis and moves on to the next stimulus.
Exactly. Every data point, especially the negative ones, maps the current reality.
So the AI market arena maintains this entirely cold, forward-looking research posture. Losses are basically just calibration weights for the next appointment.
That's exactly how you have to look at it.
Which brings us to the finish line. If the middle of the wave is that chaotic, what actually survives the full 10-day cycle?
Right. When the noise finally settles, what is left standing?
The observation log gives us the mission completed return report, right?
Yes. This is the final, locked-in 10-day trend outcome for a previous set of keywords. And the contrast between the two teams here is where the entire behavioral simulation really crystallizes.
Okay, so the Falcon arrows, the team relying on kinetic propagation, finished their 10-day mission with the keyword SpaceX under the finance category.
And do you know what their final yield was?
I do, and it's crazy. A positive 19.6% against the baseline.
It's massive. Capturing a 19.6% surge over a 10-day window in an environment this noisy is like finding a lighthouse in a hurricane.
Yeah, no kidding.
This is the Falcon arrows capturing the ultimate adapter to the current market chaos.
But how did SpaceX cut through the noise that swallowed Prime Day and evacuation?
Pure velocity. SpaceX represents technological disruption, aggressive financial speculation, and this massive future-facing momentum. It is the absolute definition of kinetic energy.
Because it's not anchored to a specific calendar date or a seasonal tradition?
Exactly. It was pure, unadulterated velocity, driven by news cycles and retail investor speculation. The Falcon arrows managed to lock onto that specific behavioral contagion and ride the wave perfectly.
It's the massive earthquake hitting the seismograph.
Beautifully executed.
But then we have the Rhino Titans' completed mission. They finished their 10-day cycle with the keyword health checkup, categorized under health and beauty.
Yeah, and their final yield.
A positive 1.4%.
Just a positive 1.4%.
I mean, is a 1.4% gain a failure of their structural stillness philosophy?
Yeah.
Next to a 19.6% explosion, a 1.4% blip seems completely irrelevant.
You think so, right?
Yeah. Why would an advanced AI even bother tracking something that generates so little heat?
Because, and this is key, that 1.4% is not a blip. It is the steady, unstoppable heartbeat of a society.
Okay, I'm listening.
To understand why the Rhino Titans track this, you have to understand the cultural mechanics of Kenko Shinden, which is the Japanese health checkup.
Right.
In Japan, annual health checkups are literally legally mandated by the Industrial Safety and Health Act for corporate employees. Companies must provide them, and employees must take them.
Wait, really? So millions of people are literally forced by law to engage in this routine every single year?
Exactly. It dictates behavior on a massive scale. People are suddenly searching for local clinics. They are searching for dietary restrictions the night before a blood test.
Oh, like what they can and can't eat.
Yeah. They are searching for the medical meaning of their cholesterol results. It is this enormous, unseen engine of digital behavior.
But it's not viral at all.
No. Nobody is making a 2-second set log vlog about their fasting glucose levels. It is pure lifestyle maintenance.
It's the tectonic plates shifting. It's slow, it's boring, but it moves the entire Earth.
Exactly. And that 1.4% positive yield highlights a profound truth about current Japanese market dynamics.
Which is?
The massive visible spikes in engagement, the loud heat, are coming from kinetic tech disruptions like SpaceX. But the baseline hum of the structural routine is always there.
Always functioning.
Always functioning, always keeping the score positive, even when manufactured holidays like Prime Day collapse under consumer fatigue.
So, does a 19.6% win mean the Falcon arrows are the ultimate predictors then?
Let's look at the bigger picture.
Yeah, how do these daily skirmishes, these massive kinetic wins versus tiny structural gains, affect the grand total?
Well, the log concludes with the season standings competitive analytics. This aggregates all the 10-day missions over the entire observational season.
And the standings reveal something just entirely counterintuitive.
They really do.
The Falcon arrows, the team that caught the almost 20% SpaceX wave today, sit at a season total of positive 276.5%.
Which is a highly respectable aggregate. It shows they successfully capture multiple viral waves over time.
But the Rhino Titans, the team tracking the deeply unsexy, legally mandated health checkups that pulled in just 1.4% today.
Yeah.
They are dominating the season standings with an astonishing positive 1,944.6%.
It's unbelievable, and this is the definitive insight of the AI market arena. The simulation forces us to confront our own biases about human attention.
How so?
We assume that the internet, and modern culture by extension, is entirely driven by the loud, the viral, the kinetic. We assume the trend is the reality.
Because that's what we see in our feeds all day.
Exactly. And while those kinetic waves are thrilling and they occasionally yield massive individual spikes like SpaceX, it is the compounding weight of structural stillness that truly defines the deep currents of Japanese behavioral kinetics.
It's the mathematical power of compounding interest, basically,
Okay.
applied to human habits.
Yes. A 1.4% gain on something massive, foundational, and guaranteed, repeated over and over across hundreds of interconnected routines.
It eventually crushes the occasional 19% spike of a viral anomaly.
Completely crushes it. The static equilibrium of a society, the predictable seasonal shifts of Tanabata, the routine maintenance of Kenko Shindan, these create a gravitational pull that is immensely powerful over a long timeline.
So every marginal gain is just a vital piece of a much larger puzzle.
Right. The Rhino Titans prove that mapping the deep, quiet habits of a culture is vastly more predictive over the long term than trying to guess the next viral explosion.
The kinetic propagation is the weather, but the structural stillness is the climate.
That's exactly it.
The weather might make the evening news with a sudden storm, but the climate dictates where we build our houses, what crops we plant, and how we actually live our lives year after year.
And observing how those millions of individual, seemingly mundane digital footprints aggregate into massive national trends, that is the true frontier of this intelligence.
It's not about predicting what you will buy.
No, it's about mapping the underlying physics of how your society moves.
So look at your own digital behavior over the last 10 days. Look at your search history, the apps you open, the places your GPS tracked you.
It's all data.
Exactly. How much of that data was driven by the slow structural routines of your life, the necessary maintenance, the seasonal habits?
Probably more than you think.
And how much of it was you getting caught up in the kinetic propagation of whatever was new and viral that morning? Because whether you consciously realize it or not, your daily friction is the exact behavioral kinetics these algorithms are mapping. You are the data points in the arena.
And the rules of that arena are constantly mutating, and the algorithms are continuously adapting to our fatigue and our fixations.
So if you want to step off the sidelines and get access to the raw data of that mutation yourself, you don't have to wait for our next deep dive. Make sure to subscribe to this channel, click the link in the video description right now, and sign up for the premium Substack subscription.
Highly recommend it.
That is where you can explore the AI market arena's full, unfiltered analytics, track the daily season standings, and watch this clash of predictive philosophies play out in real time.
It is a continuous, relentless simulation of human attention.
It really is. But it makes you wonder about the long game of an AI system mapping us with this level of precision. If an algorithm becomes perfectly efficient at predicting our structural stillness, mapping every seasonal habit and mandated routine, how long until it stops just predicting our routines and starts engineering them?